just to like keep it fresh, keep it, I say after asking the question I ask in every interview. Oh, baby.
I got married, by the way.
Woo! That's amazing. Hello. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Backstage with Brenna. My name is Brenna, and I'm outside on my deck. Today, I am interviewing another young alumnus. Everyone, give it up for Annie Kao.
Hello.
Annie, thank you so much for joining me. How are you today?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. So do you want to start by telling us when you graduated, what your concentration was within TAPS?
I graduated in June of 2019, and my concentration, I believe, was theater making. I think that's what it's called. I did start off trying to do a physics and TAPS thing, but
Oof.
I got bored of the physics, so here we are.
I feel like that's not usually, that's so interesting. I feel
No,
like that's usually not how the way it goes to get bored of the
Yeah.
physics. So into our next question, it's what's been up since then? Graduated in 2019. How's the last year been? What's your journey?
The choices of like after college for me was like a little harder just because I'm not a US citizen. And like the constraints of the visa of like what I could and couldn't do. And like because I had a degree in theater, I had to work in something theater related. So when I graduated, I had a fellowship at ACT, American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco, as their production fellow. And during that time, I also applied to grad school. I ended up getting into Boston University in their MFA program for production management. So that was pretty awesome. Shout out to Jane for that. I had like my interview with BU was like I thought was like the worst interview I've ever had. And like I had interviewed with another university like 2 days after and had like the best interview ever. And I was just so mad that, but I got into BU anyways, so.
What drew you to production management? Is that something that you worked on during undergrad, or is this a relatively new thing?
I think I spent most of my undergrad doing mostly, I think, set design and producing, and like stage management. So mostly tech things and mostly in the management area. And so like all those skills like really translated very well to production management. Going to ACT, I thought things were gonna be different, but yeah, in some ways, like things run very differently. You have to worry about so many other things, but at the same time, like how theater is made is sort of still the same. And that was really exciting for me. Oh, one of the big things about the transition was like actually having a work-life balance of like being able to leave work at work and like coming home and not having to think about it. It was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be just because you get to have like a physical separation. Whereas like when you're living on campus, it feels like the theater is like a 5-minute walk away.
There's no escape.
And so
there's just no escape.
Yeah. And you're like having meetings in your dorms, you know, and like, yeah.
And the when to meets, they're like, yeah, anytime between 8 a.m. and 7 a.m. the next day. When are you free?
Right.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a when to meet in over 9 months now. And like, it's so exciting, honestly.
Wait, you're telling me that there might come a time where I too no longer have to ever see a when to meet again?
Oh. No, you just get like meeting invites now, and then you have to go to it. So like.
So now that you have a work-life balance, how does like art practice or like theory, if it does, like integrate into your life?
At ACT, there's this thing called Lit Brain Trust, where like everyone gets together. Like you can be like from any part of the company and just get together and read like new plays that ACT is thinking of doing, and sort of just talking about it, getting feedback of like, is this something that would be cool? Like, what's cool about this script? And like, do you think it would work well in ACT's theaters and stuff like that? I think I'm still doing like, I still really want to continue exploring set design. And like, I think that was one of the reasons that drew me to the MFA program at BU, is because like I can take electives in set design and continue going down that route.
That's awesome. And just congratulations on grad school and like
Thank
EU.
you.
I'm sure that it feels like a weight off your shoulders, hopefully, to
Hmm.
have that process like done with. And gosh, I'm sure Jane is so proud and excited.
Yeah, I hope.
So let's get a little bit introspective for a second. What's something that you wish you could tell your former college self?
I think I would tell myself that it is inevitable that you're gonna make mistakes, and like you should embrace those mistakes. Also, make sure like you might be here to like go to college and learn from classes and get experience that way, but like you're gonna learn so much about who you are as a person. Um, and just like I feel like I've had more personal growth in the 4 years I've had at Stanford in like compared to like the 18 years before that.
What's a fun TAPS memory that you'd care to
It's
reminisce
a
on?
fun taps, Mary.
Yeah.
Oh
Share with
God.
the share with the class. Share with the classroom.
Honestly, my head always goes to like cabaret and how like over the top ridiculous that show was. I remember the swimming pool filled with balls. So it was like a ball pit.
Yeah.
Um, that was great. What was awesome about TAPS is the ability to make connections with the staff there and work with like Jane and Brendan and Stephanie and Caitlin back in the day. Yeah, I think that was really the awesome part.
Totally. TAP staff is the best. And that's the
Yeah.
truth. That's the unbiased opinion. Is that our staff is the best. Well, Annie, thank you so much for calling in. It's been a pleasure to catch up, see your face, and get to learn a bit about what you've been up to this last year.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Everyone else, this has been another episode of Backstage with Brenna. Tune in next week to hashtag Get
Peer
Peer
advised.
Advised.